What's up to Lion Talk Live? So we love you too, buddy.
What's going on, guys? It is Aiden Hutchinson.
What's up, man? It's your boy Amon-Ra St. Brown.
What's going on, Coach Dan at Lions Talk Live and the Duke Crew. This is Ball Hawk Fatima Lafano of the Detroit Lions. Everybody make sure you help support the YouTube channel Lions Talk Live by clicking that like and subscribe button. Let's get it and go Detroit.
Greetings and salutations to everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Dan Skipper, offensive weapon for the Detroit Lions. Make sure you all help support Lions Talk Live and Coach Dan by clicking on that like and subscribe button. Everybody, woo!
All right, greetings and salutations and good evening, everybody out there in YouTube land. I'm your host once again, Dan Thornton. We've all been waiting for some time to try to get more concrete information on what's going on with Iffy Melifonwu, the Lions safety / cornerback, who had, I'd say, a pretty good year a season ago. Everybody's been wondering, and I finally got some information for you. There had been speculation if what was going on and why MCDC, who's normally very willing to give information, detailed information. All right, so under condition of anonymity, and I guess you could say off the record, I've got this from a medical person with the Detroit Lions. If Iffy Melifonwu has what is known as, I guess I don't know the technical term, but a strain to his Achilles tendon. This strain, it could mean that he will have to go another several weeks, potentially up to 3 to 6 weeks on non-weight bearing with it. So this means that he's already gone through some of that window. They wanted to be specific about that. But the issue is he's needs to be reevaluated next week. Medical staff leaning towards surgery, but it is possible, quote, a ton. I can't give a direct quote, but a ship ton of rehab in the next 2 to 4 weeks and lead to a reevaluation. Hold on, let me go through the rest here. Will be key. It is possible that a non-surgical procedure could be done because it is not a complete rupture or tear. This is end quote. So they've been trying to keep it limited. They've been trying to keep him non-weight bearing. At this point, since he doesn't appear like he was going to be a starter regardless of his play, it may not be as damaging as it might have been a year ago. We'd all been talking about and wondering the key phrases, what little information MCDC would give out about the injury. And he said, hey, he could be back next week. He could not be back at all this season. And that led me to ask a lot of questions from people. And that's what I got. Originally, one person did say they thought potentially, and this was a couple weeks ago, that it could be a high ankle sprain, which would lead to the mobility and the ship ton of work they're putting into rehabbing the ankle. But earlier today, I put out a request, tried to get some information, and I did get some back again from somebody who can't go on record for saying it. They were very detailed with how they wanted to approach it and what the team was doing with it. They need to keep in mind that if the weight bearing and the non-surgical procedures do not bear fruit in the next several weeks, that it could be that Iffy Melifonwu will be out for the year. So is it a big blow to the Detroit Lions? Is it a minor blow to the Detroit Lions? I'm somewhere in the middle because of the emergence of Strickland plus also Brandon Joseph and Lauren Strickland. I think both guys are fully capable of stepping on up, and I've gone on record saying and done some videos on the fact that Brandon Joseph, in my opinion, is sort of like a poor man's version, at least at this point in his career, of a Brian Branch. He's a playmaker in the making. Iffy Melifonwu, while he can play some corner and safety, he was going to play behind Brian Branch. So one way or the other, I don't know if this is going to be as devastating of a blow to the Detroit Lions secondary as it would have been last year, but it also kind of gives you some depth and detailed information as to why they kept so many safeties, and also on the practice squad let go of CJ Moore before acquiring another player. All right, we'll probably know more if all this holds water and is true. We'll know more in the next week or two as therapy and recovery practices on that Achilles bear a little bit more time, and he's gone through more rehab. So again, they're looking for it as a minor strain. The key point they point out as I look at the notes is they've got to get some more of the healing in that lower portion of the leg. There's just not a lot of blood flow, as I was told. So trying to speed up that blood flow, i.e. speed up the recovery process. They got to get some of the scarring down in it, I am told, but non-weight bearing. He's already, I believe, about 3 weeks to the 3 to 6 week window that they made mention. So we'll just say he's halfway through their suggested time frame to be reevaluated next week. Medical staff leaning towards surgery, but, quote, a ship ton of rehab. And obviously it's not ship, but, I'm not going to say the other on air. Next 2 to 4 weeks will be key, because if the recovery process isn't better by that point, he's got to think about long-term benefits of surgery versus just continued rehab. All right, I'll get over to the Duke Crew comments real quick before I get up out of here. Hatman, what up, Dan? What up to you too, Hatman? Hopefully you're having a good day. Mr. Nako, wasn't I just here? Yes, laughing out loud, no complaints. So you might have been, my friend. You might have been. Walt, what's up? Sounds like if E.T. Malifanu's career is up in the, season, maybe up in the air more so than we all originally thought. I was hoping it was a high ankle sprain, but it doesn't sound like that's the case. Scott, you're back. What's up, Coach? Well, hopefully now you know. Michael, what do you got? What up, Doe? Oh yeah. See, Hookadoo, are you serious? Iffy, it does sound like it. And, hey, again, I just want to say this is all being passed on. He wasn't going to be a starter, but it does seem to bear weight with it. I guess play on words wasn't great there, but with what MCDC was saying a couple weeks ago, that, hey, he could be back this week, he could not be back at all. And I'm paraphrasing there. That's not a direct quote from Dan Campbell, but it does seem like if E.T. Melifonwu may be on a dicey edge of a sword, it may be a 50-50 proposition to return anytime soon for the Detroit Lions. See, Walt, hit that thumbs up and like button for Dan of the Duke Crew. Woo! And thanks for that, Walt. Hatman, dang, I'm ready for the game already. Can you tell the league to get it going? I'm on it, man. I'm on it. Lions fan, bummer, 100%. I like Iffy Melifonwu, but I also get staying healthy has been his Achilles heel, I guess you could say, and that's probably not good of me to say right now. See, Motown Mitch Green, salutations, Coach and Duke Crew. Lions rule, Bears drew. Woo! There we go, and back at you. Perryman, doing that do. There you go. This is awesome! Exclamation point. We have Kirby and Brian. Nice to hear it. Yeah. The thankful part is we do have a lot of depth at the safety position. Again, he probably wasn't going to be a starter. Kirby Joseph is the starter along with Brian Branch. But if Iffy Melifonwu does help you out, I think he's better in man-to-man than zone. For that reason, depending on the style of defense, I think he's got some abilities that would be nice to use. Hopefully, though, he hits the recovery process, puts in all the work needed, and hopefully they can get out with non-surgical through the season. Although, given his career and future, I almost wonder if he'd be better off doing the surgery. But I also get it's a contract year for him. He's probably wanting to get back on the field and kind of get rid of that injury-prone status or label. Mr. Nico, I hope if he can pull through because we have a Super Bowl to win 100%, and let's hope he can. Southwest, you idiots, keep injury talk out of your mouth. Yanks, it's a loss if he can ball, if you don't help us. Hey, you got to report the news, man. Sorry if it's not great news, but like I did say, though, he could be back in a couple weeks. We're all in the, guessing in the air right now. See, Rob, Dan C. said before, if he comes back, so I'm not shocked. Injury is my biggest concern for the season. Yeah. And really, the Lions overall, from an injury standpoint, are as in good a shape as it can be. I mean, really, if this is it, then, hey, we should all be pretty thankful because that means everybody else, Gibbs, Laporta, all the rest of the guys, hey, they've done their part. The medical staff really does need some credit to them because they've done a great job kind of keeping these guys moving forward and no setbacks. All right, Hatman, as long as we can get him back by mid-season or shorter after, yeah, could be. And really, I can't give, I'm not an athletic trainer, so I can't give that kind of information. I can only pass on what was said. Perryman, thumbs up. Thanks for that very much. Yada, yada. What happened to Iffy? It sounds like, so somewhere either I'm guessing during the Kansas City preseason game, he damaged his Achilles tendon. I do not know which foot. I do not know the extent. It is to the extent that obviously it's not fully ruptured. So on the condition of anatomy or being anonymous, somebody did talk to me about it. And if I pull up the notes and stuff, give me a second, pull them back up. Now I got to scroll all the way back here. It's currently believed to be only a minor strain. So he had to go through non-weight bearing. Could be out 3 to 6 weeks to be reevaluated next week. Medical staff is leaning towards surgery, but a, quote, ship ton of rehab in the next 2 to 4 weeks could bring him back. And they go on to talk about some other things that, he's got to get rid of some of the scarring on it. He's got to keep it immobile. If it's at where they think it is, it's not a whole lot different than what he would have had to if it was a high ankle strain. No, I'm not saying he's a high ankle strain. I'm not saying he's got a blown out Achilles tendon. It doesn't sound like he does not have a blown out Achilles tendon, but he did damage it to some degree to the point where, yes, he's going to have to go through some rehab and has been. Let's make sure we're clear on that, and has been going through rehab for the last several weeks. Rob, if he played a big role towards the end of last season, he was blitzing a ton. I thought he did a great job of that. Plus his man-to-man coverage I thought was pretty good. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. This is a little bit longer than I thought I'd go with it, but if I get some other updates, I'll let you guys know. Otherwise, hope you all have a great day. Be kind to each other. Do something nice for somebody you don't know, and we'll see you guys all on the next Lions Talk Live. See you guys.
Happy trails to you until we meet again.